Hi, my name is Mike, and I'm going to teach you how to import and export your forms, entries, and views in Formidable Forms. There are many reasons you'd want to import or export your form data. Maybe you want to duplicate a fairly complicated form you made for another client on a different site. Or maybe you need to import a ton of entries and you don't want to do it manually through the form. Whatever the reason, Formidable Forms makes it simple. First, let's go over exporting your form. On your Formidable tab in WordPress, click Import Export. If you're exporting your form to put it on a different site, I strongly recommend you use an XML export and not a CSV. XML will not only export your form entries, but will export your entire form including views and styles if you want it to, so you'll have very little work to do on the import end. All you have to do is check the box for your form and the boxes for what you want to export, and then click the Export Selection button. Importing an XML form is even easier. Just find your XML file and click Upload. An important note: if your imported form, entry, view, or style and creation date match an item that's already on your site, that item will be updated by your upload and it can't be undone. So just be careful. Okay, now let's take a look at importing entries. To do this, you'll want to import a CSV or comma-separated value file. What this means is that each field entry needs to be in quotes, separated by other field entries by a comma. Something like this. Your CSV file will also need headers to correctly import. If you're concerned about getting the formatting wrong, add one entry to your form manually, if it doesn't have one yet, and then export it as a CSV. When you import it into Excel, or Google Sheets, or whatever you use, you can make sure you get it right. You'll see it exported more than the few fields my form had. This includes an entry key. The entry key is a great way to update entries to your form. If you need to make a bunch of edits to product numbers, for example, you could export all of your entries, make the changes, and import them with the entry key. Then your entries would be updated rather than creating new entries. However, I do want to make new entries. And here's my list of products. I'm going to export this as a CSV, and then click Import back in Formidable. By default, my Excel uses vertical bars instead of commas in its CSV files. Should it be called a vertical bar separated value file instead? Probably. Then upload the file and match the fields to the correct CSV header. It guessed mine correctly, so I don't have to do anything. Click Import. It will import your entries and then take you to the entry page. Remember to delete your test entry if you made one. And that's it. That's how easy it is to import and export forms and entries in WordPress using Formidable Forms. Subscribe for more WordPress and form building tips, and I'll see you next time.